want to use the sport to promote themselves, to achieve something in their agenda, they will not success, definitely, because sport is sport.
One of Britain's richest men, Joe Lewis, has been indicted with insider trading in America. Lewis is not only the owner of the football giant Tottenham Hotspur.
Also ganz klar, ohne.
Obviously, without SAP, Hoffenheim's promotion would not have been possible at all.
Denver sports tycoon Stan Kroenke is set to take majority ownership of Arsenal Football Club.
These are the 10 richest football owners in the world, and number one alone controls nearly $1 trillion. From software billionaire who transformed small German club and then to a family whose funds is buying Premier League glory. These are the people who treat professional football clubs like their personal monopoly boards. Starting at number 10, we've got Dietmar Hopp, the software genius worth around $7.4 billion, who owns TSG Hoffenheim. You've probably never heard of Hoffenheim before Hopp came along, and that's because they were literally playing in Germany's 8th division when he started investing. This 84-year-old man co-founded SAP back in 1972, a software company which became one of the biggest in Europe. But here's what makes Hopp different from your typical billionaire. He's pumped over 350 million euros into Hoffenheim, not because of the profit, but because it's his hometown club. The guy's hobbies is just like everyone's retirement dream. He's so obsessed with golf and owns his own golf club. He has also donated over €1 billion to charity. As it stands, he owns over 96% of Hoffenheim. At number 9 sits Joe Lewis, the mysterious British billionaire worth about $7.9 billion. He used to own Tottenham Hotspur. This 87-year-old man made his fortune in the most spectacular way possible. He bet against the British pound on Black Wednesday in 1992 and made an absolute killing. Lewis founded Tavistock Group, which owns over 200 companies across 15 countries. The man collects art like Pokemon cards, with a collection worth over $1 billion, including pieces by Picasso and Matisse. This is where it gets juicy. In January 2024, Lewis pleaded guilty to insider trading charges, and he got hit with probation and a $5 million fine. Obviously, for a guy who owns a 98-meter yacht and lives in the Bahamas, that's probably a pocket change. He's developed golf courses, owns massive resort properties, and basically turned wealth accumulation into a form of art. Number 8 brings us to Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the Qatari powerhouse worth $7.9 billion, who runs PSG. At just 50 years old, he's the youngest on this list, and his rise to power is fascinating. This former professional tennis player, oh yes, he actually competed on the ATP Tour and now chairs beIN Media Group. He has his fingers in every pie imaginable. He presides over Qatar Sports Investments, chairs the European Club Association, and even serves as a minister without portfolio in the Qatari government. Al-Khelaifi doesn't just own PSG, he transformed it into a global powerhouse, bringing in players like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. His hobbies still include tennis, where he runs the Qatar Tennis Federation, but his real passion seems to be media domination and then turning PSG into football's equivalent of a luxury brand. Stan Kroenke slots in at number 7 with a net worth of $8 billion. And this guy collects sports teams like they're baseball cards. He owns Arsenal in the Premier League, the LA Rams in the NFL, Denver Nuggets in the NBA, Colorado Avalanche in the NHL, and Colorado Rapids in the MLS. The 77-year-old made his initial fortune in real estate through the Kroenke Group, but his wealth exploded when he married Ann Walton, the heir to the Walmart establishment. Kroenke's empire will blow your mind. He owns 2.2 million acres of ranches, making him one of America's largest landowners. Through Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, he controls major venues and media properties, including the Outdoor Channel. At number 6, we find Shahid Khan, with $12.3 billion, and his story reads like the American dream on steroids. This 74-year-old man came to the USA from Pakistan at age 16 with $500 in his pocket and washed dishes at local restaurants for quite some time. Right now, He owns Fulham FC, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and runs the largest manufacturing operation of car bumpers in North America through his company, Flex N Gate. Khan started his empire with a $50,000 loan in 1978 and now operates 69 plants worldwide. His son Tony runs All Elite Wrestling, making them the only real competition to WWE. Khan owns a 95-meter yacht called Kismet and has donated millions to education. He's trying to redevelop Jacksonville's waterfront and has ambitious plans for Fulham's Craven Cottage Stadium. Number 5 belongs to Philip Anschutz. The 84-year-old man is worth $13.3 billion, who owns LA Galaxy and holds a stake in the Lakers. This guy operates like the Wizard of Oz of the American business. He is incredibly powerful, but rarely seen in public. He built his fortune across oil, railroads, telecom, and entertainment. Through AEG, he owns some of the world's most famous venues, including the O2 Arena in London and what used to be called Staples Center in LA. Anschutz co-owns Coachella, controls Regal Cinemas, and produces films through Walden Media, which made the Narnia movies. He's a devout Christian who funds conservative causes and collects Western art. Despite owning LA Galaxy, he rarely appears at matches. His real passion seems to be buying and preserving huge chunks of the American West. The man controls more entertainment venues than anyone else on the planet, yet maintains an almost ghost-like presence in public life. David Tepper storms in at number 4 with $18.5 billion, owning both the Carolina Panthers and Charlotte FC. This 67-year-old man founded Appaloosa Management and became legendary for buying distressed assets during the 2008 financial crisis when everyone else was panicking. Tepper holds massive stakes in tech giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta. He donated $125 million to Carnegie Mellon, owns properties in the Hamptons and Miami. He used to own a piece of the Pittsburgh Steelers. His management style stays intense, to put it mildly. He's been fined for throwing drinks and earned a reputation as one of the most demanding owners in professional sports. But when you generate the kinds of returns he produces, people tend to tolerate some of your habits. The bronze medal goes to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest person with $18.5 billion, who bought 27% of Manchester United. The 72-year-old man built Ineos from scratch, starting in 1998, turning it into a chemical manufacturing giant. But Ratcliffe isn't your typical boardroom billionaire, because this man here has run the Marathon des Sables across the Sahara and expedition to both the North and South Poles. He owns Team Ineos in cycling, builds his own 4x4 vehicle called the Grenadier, and pursues the America's Cup with Ineos Britannia. He even bought the fashion brand Belstaff. The gist is that Ratcliffe seems genuinely determined to make United great again. The question is, will the Glazers allow him? Let's keep watching. Our runner-up is Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, worth $31 billion, and the man who transformed Manchester City from being a noisy neighbors to global giants. The 54-year-old serves as UAE's deputy prime minister and belongs to Abu Dhabi's ruling family. Through City Football Group, he doesn't just own Manchester City. He owns 13 clubs across the globe, creating a football empire that would make ancient Rome jealous. Sheikh Mansour invested heavily in Virgin Galactic with a 32% stake, showing his interests literally reach for the stars. His hobbies include traditional Emirati falcon hunting and horse racing, where he owns multiple champion thoroughbreds. He transformed City with over £2 billion in investment, bringing in the best players, coaches, and facilities money can buy. The sports washing allegations still follows him everywhere, but 6 Premier League titles and a UCL tend to silence the critics. And at number 1, making everyone else look like they're shopping at the dollar store, stands Saudi Arabia's public investment fund with assets worth $913 billion. We're talking nearly $1 trillion. They own 80% of Newcastle United and created LIV Golf to basically declare war on the PGA Tour. Led by Governor Yasir Al-Rumayyan, this isn't just a wealthy owner. It's an entire nation's wealth being deployed as a sporting weapon. They also own chunks of Uber, Boeing, Facebook, and Disney. They're building Neom, a $500 billion futuristic city, and hold a majority stake in Lucid Motors. Their sports portfolio includes Formula E racing, major boxing events, and they're eyeing investments in the NBA and tennis. This represents Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's vision, 2030 inches action, using sports to transform Saudi Arabia's global image. The transformation at Newcastle has been staggering. From relegation candidates to frequent Champions League participants, with money seemingly no object, they've spent hundreds of millions on players and plan a new stadium that could become the best in world football. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, share, subscribe, and on your post notification for more of these stories.